On with a 1.50 goals against average and a .940 save percentage. Puck is dropped, and away we go here at Angel of the Winds Arena. The Tips skating left to right on your CHL screens in their home white sweaters with green and silver tree line trim. The Rockets in their road black sweaters with teal, white, and red striping. Heavy hit in the far corner as Carter Baer dumps down Andrew Crystal. Up come the Silver Tips as Julius Miettinen pursues the puck in the near corner, cut off by Price. Over to his right for Crystal, out of his reach. Jamison will hold at center. With his speed, his forechecking, and there's just no off switch on his motor. He sets up an offensive zone faceoff here for Miettinen's line as Miettinen wins it for Baer. Back to the blue line, Smith crossing for Baer, a shot that tips wide, rebound loose far post. It's Hamill saucing it to Baer, who squares and shoots off the toe of Stoser. Picked up by Graham on the left wing, and the Devils prospect maneuvers out to center. Run down by Miettinen from behind. Baer down to his knees, loose puck at center, and Stinsel maneuvers it far corner of the Tips end. Terrence Smith will field. Quick passing finds its way to the Everett blue line. Ahead left side comes Miettinen, paddled by Rocek into the far corner. Battle forward along the wall. It squibs free behind the Kelowna net. Racing forward is Stinsel over to Graham left wing. Graham holding on the backhand. Support from Stinsel around behind the Kelowna cage. And Rocek starts forward for the Rockets as Rocek from the red line shoots it off the stick of Smith into the far side corner. Pushing it to the near corner. Nice move by Kaplan. Out to the point. Hamill for Smith. He shoots in and out of the breadbasket of Stoser. Loose in the crease and swatted wide as Chasko was digging forward in front. 6:40 into the period. Here's a flying check by Carter Baer. Nearly was a leg-on-leg collision, but Baer remaining out on the ice for a forecheck. Hampering the play, and now here's a chance for Heslop, just getting a piece of it, Stoser. Here's Smith on the left side. Smith dropping to the point for Baer. His one-timer, Phantom, and Stinsel will carry out for Kelowna, looking for Crystal. And he avoids the hip check of Baer, but loses control of the puck. As the crowd tittering as the Silvertips have done a good job on the possession side of things. Here's Crystal looking back to Stinsel. He fanned on the shot attempt and skated away by Everett. Up with speed, here's Heslop. In with Miettinen. Heslop across the slot. Hamill shoots. He sent it wide. Off the glass, it funnels out to center as Raymond quickly back up for Hamill. Off to the right of Stoser. Tips will send out Miettinen and DuPont. Baer up front. Smith and Raymond on the back end. Puck is dropped and one back by the Silver Tips as it's one-handed to the blue line, crossing for Raymond, stepping forward as traffic in front. Raymond shoots off the shoulder of Stoser. Rebound is loose at the far post. Swatted back by the Rockets as Smith skates forward into the corner. He's got Rocek by his hip. Breezes by him to the corner, out to the point Raymond. Now back to Smith, right wing. Smith from the blue line, shot save. Rebound is loose, and it's picked up by Raymond. Holding near circle, keeping it moving to the far side. It's DuPont holding. On the outside, DuPont, down low, Raymond off the heel of his stick. In the trapezoid, far corner for Baer. Back to the half wall for DuPont. Setting up Smith, a one-timer that he whiffed on. Loose near circle, kept alive for Miettinen in the near corner. Runs up against a body in Corbet. Baer slinging it out to the floor in front. DuPont, shot save, rebound, save Stoser. Rebound blocked in the crease. It pops free at the circle. It's Smith crossing DuPont. Back for Raymond. They score! What a sequence! Multi-point performances. Crystal has been on another world this year. To the right of the goal, it is won back by the Silvertips. Jamison over towards DuPont, who starts ahead from his own end, looking for Heslop. Past his stick, and that's icing against Everett, and we'll do it again from next to Legault. Crystal is one of those players who in the mirror, get him in the AHL, we would. But they send him back as a 19-year-old with no room on the Caps pro roster. And they want to hold on to him as long as possible as a face-off won by Kelowna. Crystal left wing, rising shot, juggled for a moment by Legault, and he'll cover at the near side post. 7:53 left in the frame. And coaching in Wash present. He being taken 106th overall in 2023 by St. Louis. Face-off won by Kelowna. Here's Price over to his left, Crystal. His shot is blocked in front as that was off the legs of Stinsel, sitting net front, I believe. As Heslop maneuvers around behind the net. Stoser gets a piece of it, pressured by Baer. Stoser up the wing, cut off by Miettinen. Along the goal line, Miettinen hops behind the net, takes the check from Stinsel. Loose far post, reaching for it, Miettinen up into the air, sticked away by Henderson, looking for Graham on the right wing. He'll sling it rink wide over towards Crystal on the near side. Looking back towards Henderson, working it up towards Graham. Redirected by Graham and in deep towards the Silvertip zone as the Rockets need a change. Bouncing at the logo, it's McKenzie ahead, and we'll get a stoppage in play as Crystal and Bear were entangled at the Kelowna blue line. One more change for the Tips. Out of the box comes Bear. The Silvertips 1 for 1 on the Murphy Trial Law PK tonight. As Price has some space up the left side. Slows up against Hamill, his fellow Kraken pick. As Hiroki Goisick, the Predators prospect, bounces it to the near circle. Goisick to Crystal in the corner. Trying to bounce off Chasko. Crystal has a sea of sticks around him. Leaves it for Cicek out to the blue line. Holding is Rocek. To his left, Price. Price's wrister punched into the air by Legal. Lands near corner for Chasko. One away by Cicek. Backhanding it along the boards for Crystal. Looking backdoor pass. Intercepted by Bear in a diving effort to get it out to center. Nicely done there by Carter Bear. A defensive effort. Saved the day from what would have been an easy tap-in goal. Here's Cicek. Sending it off the legs of Terrence Smith. 4:20 left in the first. It's 1-0. The Tips after Sanch's injury early in November. Face-off won by Kelowna and forced out to center. But both Legal and Garrett have been superb in these last couple of weeks, and that's made the absence a bit more bearable for Everett. As Stintzel picks up a loose puck in the neutral zone, he'll carry in 3-on-3, crisscrossing with Crystal. Stintzel along the left side wall. Marked by Heslop. Backhands it to the blue line. Price, his long chance kicked away by Legal. Sharp angle chance for Crystal that misses well wide. Out to the far boards, it is Graham. Round behind the net, Crystal. Avoids contact with Hamill along the near side boards. It is Hamill up for Miettinen. Across the red line, and Miettinen shoots it in. As the Tips go for a change, Miettinen holding, sending it to center, but no one home. Out on the right wing, Cicek. And that doesn't even count the Chicago Steel, who are a perennial powerhouse in the USHL. And a factory for NHL picks. Here's a face-off one by Everett, carried over to the left side, looking to clear his Bear. Hauled down to the ice, pile up, and a loose puck that is dug free from underneath the prone body of Varga and cleared out to center. Final 10 seconds of the frame. Rocek backhands it deep. Round behind his net is Legal. He moves it over to the far side. To the far point, Price. 2 seconds and 1. That will do it for the opening 20 minutes. Shots on goal presented by Levitt Group Northwest. Tending showdown for the ages between Guard and Jeff Harvey. And now, 20 years later, the Silvertips and Rockets back at Angel of the Winds Arena. Puck is dropped and away we go for the second period. Played around behind the Tips net. It is Raiden Legal. Up the left side, Miettinen. Lead pass looking for Heslop is out of his reach. Bouncing around at the logo. Carter Bear racing forward. Bear with a wrister that's off the toe of his stick. Miettinen back for Bear. In front for Heslop out of his reach. And Hamill will race for the puck up into the far corner. Andrew Crystal is on to forecheck for Kelowna. Picked up by Look off the body of Guest. And skated out to the neutral zone as Pankratz took a high check from Smith. And the Rockets will go for a long change as Legal moves it over to his right for Hamill. Ambling fourth. Angles it for Miettinen. Played in for Bear. He's held up along the boards by Graham. And played back towards Gillespie as he's hampered by Heslop into the far corner. Out towards the neutral zone, it is DuPont in the far corner. DuPont, his stick lifting of Graham. Heslop far wing. 3:45 gone by in the second. 1-0 Tips as a trickling puck hops past Nate Corbet. Protecting from an oncoming Miettinen. Coughed it up. Here's DuPont far point. DuPont. Around the shoot for Bear near corner. Bear sauces it over to DuPont. Back over for Jamison starting forward. Jamison trying to pick short corner. And it hit off a body in front. That might have caught the shoulder of Stoser on its way towards the net. Pass to open space as Bear ranging up the left side. Takes the hit from Gillespie. Centering pass by Graham finds its way to Crystal. As Crystal is surrounded by Jamieson and DuPont, he flicks it into the Silver. Up 1-0 on Kelowna. 7:42 gone by in the second period. Miettinen for a face-off in the neutral zone against Jakob Stintzel. It is won back by Stintzel, and Andrew Crystal will survey the ice slowly up the left side, trying to chip it up towards Graham. It's out of his reach, and Miettinen will settle for the Silver Tips. Over to his right, DuPont quickly up for Bear, ahead in transition. Snap pass for Heslop is past his stick, and that's icing against the Silver Tips. You could see they were trying to work it up ice quickly as the Rock, who in the first 8 minutes of the second period has faced but one shot. Face-off won by the Rockets. Here's a shot by Price, tipped and a save made by Legault on cue. A second one this period. Crystal back to the blue line. Henderson squares. His shot bounces into the padding of Legault. No rebound. As that was Stintzel doing battle with Jamieson in front, and that is one of the more backhanded into the Kelowna zone. Held onto by Calhoun. As we've seen a lot of play on the perimeters here in this period. Nothing terribly open just yet. As here's Miettinen looking over towards his right for Heslop. A good steal, and Heslop to the net, a save. A rebound is in front. And it's swept out by Crystal. It finds its way to Graham up ice. Graham leaning against Hamill, but forced into the far corner. As that is a board-rattling blow into the far side. Hamill plays it out to Heslop, back for Hamill, and the Tips are able to escape with nary a shot against. Here's Miettinen the other way with Bear and Heslop. Miettinen lowers the shoulder, off the end boards, in front for Bear, cut off by Crystal. And the Rockets will skate away. Things starting to open up a bit there on that sequence, as here's Graham with a one-timer, toe save by Legault. All you had to do was call attention to the fact that things were a bit sluggish in the second before things start to pick up a bit. Loose puck near wall. It is Carter Bear out towards the center of the zone. Taryn Smith softly for Heslop. Up he comes with speed. Heslop looking across the way for Bear. His stick failed him. Back to Smith at the point. Crossing over for Pierce is wrister. That's rejected by the legs of Price. Pierce takes a hit, trying to keep the puck in, and good job by Temple. In addition to just having people and the ring down at center ice, you've also got the pyrotechnics for Cody Rhodes, among others, that use it. And so the ice has needed a little wear and tear. Here's Heslop up the left side with Miettinen. Heslop to the slot, cutting around for Miettinen, robbed by Stoser, and a rebound. He gets a second one. And Stoser covers it far post. A sense to the slot. Graham skating to the far corner. Back for Crystal at the dot. Stepping forward is wrister, shoulder save Legault. Crystal in the corner for Graham behind the net. Bear is out of the box. 5-on-4 power play. Stintzel. Graham, doorstep, tuck in try, saved by Legault. 50 seconds to go in the 5-on-4 as both Bear and Price are free, and the Tips get it down the length of the ice. Stintzel and Crystal, lots of puck movement, but Legault moving side to side. Pont and Jamieson. Price very slowly working his way back towards his own bench. Face-off won by the Tips. Here's Jamieson with a drive that's blocked by Graham. DuPont gets it back. Soft pass for Jamieson. Didn't get all of it, and so the Rockets are able to start away. Here's Crystal skying it deep into the zone with 10 seconds left. DuPont has Stintzel all over him, protecting far corner. DuPont looking to kill these final few seconds, and he will. Horn will sound as Jamieson will give one last parting shot to Max Graham. Silver Tips will begin the period with Miettinen, Bear, Heslop, Hamill, and Smith, countered by Stintzel, Graham, Crystal, Henderson, and Price. Puck is dropped, and away we go here for the third period as Price holds the opening face-off puck in his own zone. Over for Henderson, up for Crystal, drop back to Henderson as the Rockets look for a point of entry here into the Silver Tips attacking zone. Round behind the net, picked up by Hamill and moved out by Smith. Bear between his legs looking for Miettinen, off his stick, rejected back out to center. As Smith avoids Crystal, gets it up to Bear on the left wing. Bear shoots it around the boards. Price ranging over for Kelowna. Pitchforks it up into the air. It lands in the Kelowna bench, and we will have a stoppage in play. Crystal has come and out to center as Smith cuts off for the Tips. Lively bounce off the Kelowna bench boards, and Price will glove it down. Back for Henderson, his defensive partner, as Henderson crosses center, wires it deep, and now we'll have a fight in front of the bench as Clark Schaefer and Brett Calhoun will go. Opportunity to turn the tides and swing momentum on their way. Graham is on with Crystal, Varga, Stintzel, and Price. Face-off won by the Tips, and Terrence Smith throws it up the heart of the ice, looking for a racing Bear as he wins the foot race far post, wins it away from Price. Bear spins away from Stintzel. 2 for interference, the official call on Schaefer. Carried in by Crystal left wing, out to the slot, a chance for Varga. He missed the net. Bouncing puck near corner, as that's a nice look there. That's one of those grade A looks for Varga, streaking up the slot. Price crossing to the far circles. Crystal down low, quick passing shot by Varga, missed. Funnels out to Stintzel. Graham behind the net. Moves it to Crystal, pass through his stick, and down the length of the ice. Stoser comes out of his cage, maneuvers it up to Price, touched by Crystal. As the Rockets. Casey Bryant back on the Everett Silvertips Radio Network. 6:31 gone by in the third period. Tips leading 2-0 with an offensive zone faceoff. Miettinen wins it to Bear, taps it to the blue line. Hamill around the boards. The Silvertips penalty kill 3 for 3 tonight. As Miettinen backhanding it in front, looking for Heslop, cut off by Max Graham. Graham hampered by Miettinen in the far corner, trying to wheedle it back to the blue line. It's poked away by Kelowna and carried up by Andrew Crystal. As Hamill has it poked by for Price on the left wing. Hits the brakes, dropping for Stintzel. Shot blocked by Miettinen. Reached down and got it with the blade of his stick. Behind the end line, it's Crystal. In front of Smith, works it back to the blue line. Long shot is blocked in front, loose between the hash marks. Stintzel toe saved by Legault. And he's got the rebound. Legault in a full split. The most important thing that you look for from Caden Hamill, but it is an element of his game that he brings. His skill is markedly improved. He's got a good shot. As the Rockets win the D-zone draw and clear it down the length of the ice, this will be wide of Legault's net and icing against the Rockets. And when he scored his second, Miettinen on with Heslop and Bear, with Hamill and Smith on the back end. Faceoff is won by the Tips as Miettinen holds on the dot, back to Heslop. A drive, he scores! Jesse Heslop drops a bomb from the blue line. And then bring a Bear, make sure it's bagged to ensure sanitary delivery to its intended destination. And the Tips are expecting a sellout tomorrow, and I know I'm expecting a record number of stuffed animals from this Everett faithful. As the Bear on the ice for the Tips. Carter Bear carrying into the offensive zone, forced off the puck. It is Varga on left wing. Varga trying to drag the toe around DuPont. DuPont holds his ground. Into the near corner, Chasko. Tying up the stick of Fulstrom. Motions it to the corner. Varga behind the net. Reaching for it, Fulstrom, tuck and try near post. Met by the paddle of Legault. Backhanded up into the air. And Rocek pursued by Kaplan. Good pressure applied by Kaplan. Lost his footing for a moment. And that will buy Rocek some space. He has breezes by him into the corner. Backdoor feed. Robbed by Stoser. Tuck in, try at the near post. That's kept out. Heslop is robbed twice by Rhett Stoser. As Heslop gets it back towards the hash marks. Here's Bear onto his belly. Unable to get it towards the net. It will trickle behind the net. Rhett Stoser doing his darndest to keep the Rockets in this, as here's Miettinen for Heslop. Back for Miettinen, shoved wide. Miettinen to the far corner, ambling to the blue line. Now through the slot, over for Hamill. His wrister, blocker saved by Stoser. Up into the air, it lands at the blue line, and Crystal starts a 3-on-3 the other way in transition. For Stintzel, he's closed out from the puck by the big body of Miettinen. Up into the air, Miettinen joined by Bear along the far wall. It is Graham back to the blue line. Long shot misses well wide. On the left side, Corbet chops it to the corner where Stintzel is joined by Graham. Wrapped up from behind by Hamill. Under 7 minutes to play. Hamill up ice. Heslop entering in with Courtney. Heslop across the way. Bear for Hamill. Shoved wide. Wraparound try by Bear. That's turned out by Stoser. Out to the high slot. Jamison. That's wide. At the far circles, holding on to it. trying to escape his guest. Up for Carrig. Swarm at the blue line. And Corbet glides it away. Punch is blocked by a kneeling Henderson. Cicek along the near side boards over for Price. Behind the net, Henderson waiting for his castmates to take their rightful places as the Rockets go for a line change. It's Caden Price swooping behind his net, taking the puck. Lead pass for Longley, out of his reach. And this is icing against Kelowna with 4 minutes left in regulation time. And a frustrated Caden Price. Mastered against the boards by Courtney, and that is a heck of a hit. Bouncing puck into the near side corner of the Kelowna zone. That was fly on a windshield for Courtney, who's played a physical game here this evening. Behind the net, Corbet up into the air. It lands behind Miettinen. Digging forward is Carter Bear. Graham protecting in his skates, as is Corbet. Nudged back to Stintzel, who's chased into the far corner. Turnover, Heslop for Miettinen. Backhander just missed wide. Heslop at the far midboards back to the blue line, and Smith will shoot it deep. Under 3 minutes to play in regulation. In between the hash marks, Gillespie. Off the glass, out to center, glove down by Smith. And right back in come the Silvertips as Heslop punts possession behind the net. Stoser will hold on to it, moving it along the near wall. Wonky bounce off a glass stanchion. It pops free out to Christie left. Center ice face-off, so Stoser in the crease. Draw one by Miettinen, and that's a huge face-off win. Jamison taps it to his left, cut off by the Rockets. Bouncing back into their own zone, Price will retreat. Pressured by Carter Bear, Price skates to the far corner. Trying to get around McKenzie, good steal. Carter Bear to the far corner. Has it poked away by Henderson, and now out from behind is net Cicek. He's harassed from behind by Bear. Bouncing out to the logo, taken away. Here's McKenzie shooting it back in deep. Terrific sequence for Bear and McKenzie. That kills 30 seconds off the clock. Cicek on the right wing at center. Tension building, and a face-off won by Kelowna. Price takes a high hit from Carter Bear. Bouncing puck, forced to center. Stintzel will retreat. Back into his own zone, Stintzel. To his right, Crystal. Centering pass broken up. Cut off here for a chance for McKenzie. Up ice Miettinen. Miettinen back for a chance for McKenzie. He scores. The empty net dagger scored by Tyler McKenzie. His second.